Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we have, for some reason, neglected to do a meet on the Kagero, even though it was my most played destroyer for a long time. And then I fell in love with the Lightning. But, with that being said, let's get to the commander, Raizo Tanaka, with Jersey Swirsky and Eric Bay as our commander. Inspirations, then we've got Subsurface Adventure, Fragile Threat, Torpedo Safari, Destroyer Be Destroyed, and Unstoppable. And we are fully ranked with a Legendary 3 commander. So, yeah, we're doing all right is what I'm saying. And if we go back to the ship itself, you'll see that I am running Aiming Systems Mod 1, Propulsion Mod, Concealment System Mod, and Torpedo Launchers Mod 3. Then we've got... Oh, we are fully upgraded, by the way. And then we have the torpedo reload booster instead of smoke. Unlike the Yudachi, you have to choose between smoke or reload booster. Because balance. But, you know, Yudachi's anything but balance. Anyway, 2 engine boosts. We are not running any other boosters than that. We have our community contributor flag and our Type 3 Halloween camo. Now, people ask me all the time about the flags. I'm going to go ahead and say it again, just to let you guys know. The only way to get flags there are certain missions occasionally, like the Duck, for instance. The Duck of War, you had to play that game mode that came out for April Fool's Day, I think it was. So keep that in mind. But all of the rest of them are generally premium ships. Okay? Except for these. These were alpha tests, beta tests, and then, of course, my community contributor flag. Early adopter flag, because I've been around for so long, and my 1-year strong flag. So, there's not a whole lot of flags out there, and there's very few that you can pick up. The only ones that you'll be able to pick up usually are from special events or a premium ship that comes with a flag. Keep that in mind. Alright, so let's look at the stats. 13,590 hit points. She's got 6 127mm guns that reach out to 9.9 kilometers. The reload time is 7.5 seconds, which actually isn't bad considering how hard they hit. Remember, these things are firing Japanese HE, which has very good penetration. So these things hit very, very hard for destroyers. As anybody who has ever decided to use a destroyer for the Japanese and get into a gunfight with another destroyer can attest to. They can hit for 25 to 3,500 damage a salvo. It's nasty. You gotta be careful with the guns. Okay? HE shell, 1,800 damage with 7% chance to set on fire. AP shell damage, 2,200, but you're not gonna be shooting AP in this thing. Just don't even worry about it. Torpedoes. You have 610mm torpedoes, and you have 8 of them. There are 2 central mounted launchers, so you can fire them off of either side. They reload in 81.8 seconds, which is a little bit slow, but they are larger torpedoes than I think anybody else gets in the game. So keep that in mind. Yudachi may have slightly larger torpedoes. 633s, maybe. Either way, Yudachi does a little bit more torpedo damage anyway. 21,963 damage for these torpedoes. Nasty. 1.7 kilometer torpedo detection range is not particularly amazing. In fact, it's almost bad. But they are doing 71 knots, and they have a range of 11.6 kilometers. So, yeah, you can get close, and I'll go over that in a minute. Maneuverability, 37 knots without the engine boost. When you're running the engine boost, I think it gets up to 43, something like that. You can get that faster, but with our build, that's where we're at. Turning circle radius, 640 meters, and rudder shift time of just 2.7 seconds. It's very shifty in the water. Really is. Concealment system. This is where this ship and the Japanese come in like their own. Alright, the Japanese are the stealthy boys. With our detectability right now being 4.7 kilometers. Now, there are other ships that can compete with that, but the Japanese and I think maybe the the French can get down there as well. I'm not quite sure that they're going to get that low, though. Nope, never mind. I lied. But anyway, Japanese, very stealthy, and I like to run them very, very stealthy. Detectability range by air is 2.5 kilometers. Guaranteed is 2 kilometers, and detectability in smoke is just 2.5 kilometers. Overview, she's hidden. Great concealment. She's got big yield above average torpedo damage. And she's got pyromania, above average chance for HE shells to cause fire. And just the amount of damage that the shells can do to begin with. They do a nasty amount of damage because you're not shattering. You're literally getting full penetrations, and they are nasty when they hit. Due to a good balance of her main characteristics, Kagero, or Kagero, whichever way you want to say it, was the most successful destroyer design in the Imperial Japanese Navy. She had extremely long-range, high-speed, oxygen-fueled torpedoes that made her considerably superior to all ships of her type in terms of torpedo armament power. She entered service in 1931 or 1939, and she had 19 of them in the series. So, let's take a look at it. It's a beauty. Now I know this camo isn't the best. This is the Halloween camo, but it's not a horrible. And yeah, I like the ship. And I don't know why I've spent this long without doing the Meetha. I didn't realize I didn't. I thought I did at some point. I've made several videos in the Kagero, so it's up to you guys. But thanks for letting me know, and without further ado, let's get to the gameplay. Alright, so we are going to be on Sea of Fortune, and you may notice that I'm not alone. I am joined by none other than Miss Kim. She is going to be in the, the Lightning. She's going to be on the right side, going to C. I'm going to try to take B, and we're going to see if we can't control the map and do the Kagero justice. Now, a lot of people play these Japanese destroyers wrong. Now, I'm not the best destroyer player in the world, but just because your ship has 11.5 kilometer torpedoes doesn't mean you need to use all 11.5 kilometers all the time. Sometimes you just need to get in close and then drop your torps and do what you gotta do. Now, this match in particular is going to be a particularly good one for a Japanese destroyer due to all of the little islands you can hide behind and jump out and ambush people. It's quite nice. And we're going to go up in here, and the first thing you're going to notice is that I take my ship and I turn it broadside, and I launch all my torpedoes as soon as I have enough range to clear where I think I could hit the enemy. So as you can see, we've got enough torpedo range to go well past the two islands that we can currently see in front of us. And we're just going to go ahead and try to fill the gap in between the two islands with torpedoes. Just in case, because there are 4 enemy destroyers on the enemy team, there's not a lot of hit points on this team for me to take. But if I can protect myself, I launch those before I even get into the center of the cap, so that whoever's over there might not notice in time and potentially run right into them. Now, you'll notice that Japanese destroyers, their torpedoes tend to spread out a lot, especially at any sort of range. So that's something to keep in mind. It can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. It's kind of like widespread torpedoes for most destroyers once they get beyond a certain range. But it does allow you to cover quite the area, so, you know, you have more of a chance of catching somebody if you weren't necessarily aiming at anybody. So it could be, it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. As you can see, I'm capturing B. Kim is over capturing C, and she's got a lot of company heading her direction. But the Lightning being a fantastic ship that it is, she's going to be able to sit tight, capture the base, and then try to play from there. Now, you'll notice that we've got a Nelson pushing up on us, and this is terrifying. Why is it so terrifying? Well, 9 times out of 10, the Nelson has high explosive loaded. And Nelsons in particular are very capable. Hello, Akatsuki! There's only one ship in this particular match against us that launches torpedoes in a 3 pattern. So, yeah, definitely Akatsuki nearby. Keep that in mind. And those were widespread. So, not a particularly good Akatsuki. But Nelson is kind of sailing right into my trap. if you're in a battleship and you're one of the first people in to challenge a cap that you know was just captured by a destroyer, you probably want to reconsider, because it's not going to end well for you. Now, the Nelson is very, very good at healing its damage. And it's going to need to be, because it's going to take 2 torpedoes in this first salvo that we send at him. And as you can see, that's 35,000 damage. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that it's hard to come back from 35,000 damage in one salvo, right? You just took 35,000 damage, you couldn't even shoot anybody. But he's not deterred. He really wants to get in, and of course the enemy Kagero finishes off our Akatsuki with a devastating strike. Go figure. It's gonna be one of those matches. There's a lot of potatoes in this match, and each one of them just really, really wants to die. So we're going to go out here and oblige this Nelson. Now, we go out here knowing that we're going to get detected before all's said and done. Luckily, he fires his guns at the other guy, and I get away with it. He's not going to be able to reload those big 16-inch guns before those torpedo gets to him, so he's almost done. And down he goes. 61,000 damage off of the Nelson. Not too shabby. Now, we get a good shot at the Akatsuki here, and you'll see 1,700 damage, and that was kind of a long-range shot. Now, he's going to run aground, which is a huge mistake on his part, but he's also going to throw his smoke screen and go dark right in front of our battleship. Now, again, he was just detected. That battleship better be on his toes. There's only one reason an Akatsuki would come around the corner, broadside on, and firing his guns. He's already launched his torpedoes. He just wanted to get a shot on me. So, we're going to go hunting. No reason to leave an Akatsuki out there all alone. Let's go give him some company. Now, Kim over there has her hands full with a Z-39, and she is absolutely wrecking him. So, I've got no qualms about trying to take a shot at this guy, and of course we fire at him and he just takes off running, and we just did not lead him enough. That was a terrible shot. This one looks a little bit better though. Unfortunately, he's going to be dead before my shells get there. No, it ain't. I actually hit him. Akatsuki, however, fires his guns, comes out, full broadside. We get a decent hit on him, only one shot, but it was a fire, so not too bad. And we avoid his widespread torpedoes. Now, I will say this. I got to give the little dude credit. He's continuing to fire his guns at me, which is brave, but it's also effective. Okay? Now, I don't want to chase him around the corner because I've only seen one salvo, or one level of his torpedoes, and I know he carries 9. We've only seen 3. However, this Colorado is making himself a very, very promising target. So we're going to go ahead and launch some torpedoes at the Colorado. And then we're going to sit back using this smoke screen that the Akatsuki left for us, which was kind of him. And it's going to run out immediately, because that's how that works. I was hoping to sit here and shoot the guns a little bit at these battleships. But now that, I see fish on the way, I see a Bismarck who is completely oblivious to the fact that those torpedoes are about to be intercepted by him, protecting the Colorado. But the Bismarck was obviously running his sonar, or maybe the Akatsuki was close enough to spot those torpedoes. Either way, he only managed to take 1 torpedo, but the Colorado's not going to be so lucky. He's going to take 3, and that's going to be enough to finish him off. High caliber, we get our 2nd kill of the game. We got our first devastating strike. So we've got quite a few medals here. We've got what? First blood, devastating strike and high caliber? Is that what it is? I think it is. Anyway, we're going to push up. No, actually, we didn't get a first blood. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, this game is over very, very quickly, and you can see just how much damage we managed to pull out of a game that didn't have much damage out there for us to grab. We're over 100,000 damage. We've got 116,000. We've got 7 torpedo hits. And we're not launching torpedoes from 11.5 kilometers. That was a mistake that I used to make all the time in this thing. Japanese torpedo boats have fantastic range, on their torpedoes, and it lulls you into going and missing your torpedo shots more often than not. But he's not going to get away. We managed to take down the Bismarck just because, and that gives us 9 torpedo hits and 135,000 damage done in a match with 4 destroyers on the enemy team. That's a pretty good outcome for this match. Now the Akatsuki over here, not having a very good day. The Helena and Miss Kim over there, just absolutely wrecking them. And we finished the game. It was a pretty fun one. So 135,000 damage done, 3 kills, 9 torp hits, not too shabby. Top of the leaderboard, 2950, with Kim coming in third on the team with over 2100 base XP as well. So if you like what we're doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.